All right, welcome back, everyone. In today's explainer, we're diving into a case that has literally baffled investigators for decades. We're talking about the holy grail of unsolved cases, officially recognized as the greatest unsolved mystery in the entire history of the FBI. Yep, the Dan Cooper case. Let's get right into it. So, I want you to just put yourself in the scenario for a second. Imagine you're boarding a totally ordinary flight. You find your seat, settle in, everything seems completely routine. But then, out of nowhere, the atmosphere just shifts. This everyday journey suddenly turns into a high-stakes hostage situation. It's wild, and it leaves us with this massive question that has haunted authorities for decades. How does a man with a bomb just vanish into thin air? Part 1. This setup. Picture this. It's November 24th, 1971. A man, identifying himself as Dan Cooper, is sitting quietly in the back of an airplane. But that quiet, calm demeanor? Complete facade. He subtly calls a stewardess over, opens his briefcase, and shows her exactly what he's carrying. And what's inside is a bomb. Honestly, it is so chilling to think that one of the most historic hijackings ever started not with a scream or a shout, but with almost absolute silence. Part 2. The demands. Cooper's whole extortion plan was incredibly simple, highly calculated, and practically executed. His very first demand? Exactly $200,000. Now, remember, this took place back in 1971. So when you put that into perspective, you realize we're talking about a staggering, massive fortune to demand while literally holding an airplane hostage in the sky. But get this, the massive pile of cash wasn't his only condition. He also demanded parachutes, exactly 4 of them. And that specific number, that is absolutely critical. It completely highlights the highly premeditated nature of this crime. By asking for multiple parachutes, he's forcing the authorities to second-guess his next move, right? They're terrified he might take hostages with him when he jumps. It proved without a doubt that this wasn't just some impulsive threat. This was a deeply planned operation. From there, the hijacking escalated super rapidly across the country. Following the initial boarding, the flight made a really tense landing in Seattle to negotiate, before taking off again on this eerie, isolated route pointing toward Reno, Nevada. Let's talk about that middle point on our timeline for a second, that landing in Seattle. This was the scene of a seriously critical, tense exchange. See, there were 36 innocent passengers trapped on board that aircraft. When the plane touched down in Seattle, Cooper actually traded those 36 passengers. In exchange for letting them walk away safely, the authorities handed over exactly what he demanded, the $200,000 and the 4 parachutes. Part 3. The Vanishing Act. Okay, so with his ransom totally secured and the plane now heading toward Reno, Cooper needed to guarantee complete and total isolation. So he gave the flight crew these chillingly precise instructions. Step 1, go into the cockpit. Step 2, lock the door. That's it. He was now entirely alone in the main cabin with his bomb and a mountain of cash. The climax of this whole unbelievable ordeal hits when the plane eventually lands safely in Reno. The incredibly nervous flight crew finally emerges from the locked cockpit to check the cabin. But when they look in the back, Dan Cooper and the bomb are absolutely nowhere to be found. The only physical clue left behind was that the stairway at the very rear of the plane was left entirely extended. Cooper was just gone. Part 4, an enduring unsolved case, the mystery of a blind leap into the dark. The physical evidence of that extended stairway tells just a wild, wild story. I mean, at some point during that isolated, terrifying journey between Seattle and Reno, Dan Cooper stood at the edge of the aircraft and took a total blind leap into the abyss. And the agonizing aftermath for the FBI? Well, it spanned decades. Various suspects emerged over the years as investigators desperately hunting for answers. But every single time, a dead end. None of them were Cooper, leaving this case completely unsolved to this very day. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this haunting question to reflect on, because it is the actual, incredible reality of this slice of history. Despite all of the FBI's resources, the whole shebang, how does a man carrying a bomb and a massive fortune in cash simply leap from an airplane and disappear entirely into the dark of night? It's a mystery that continues to completely defy logic, and for sure one that leaves us all wondering what really happened in the sky that night.